the developers are kind of depending on the fact that the public will be confused by their initiative. They're proposing to expand the urban limit line, and they're saying there won't be a project for many years, but they also have a development agreement which locks in the number of units that they would get, and as well as the standards that those units would be built by. And they wrote the standards. They took the Brentwood general plan that refers to this area, and they deleted the language referring to the Measure F area, replaced it with their own language, and locked it in with their development agreement. They're guaranteed their project if you vote for Measure F. The developers have a development agreement in Measure F. What does that mean?
Well, a developer agreement is a binding agreement. It locks in the densities, the construction, all the particulars about this project are locked in between a local government and the developers themselves. This Measure F is not just to get this land into Brentwood's control, it's to get this land into the developer's control. They have full scope, they've planned it all out to exactly what they want, what their vision is for this property, and not the residents.
One of their slogans is they want Measure F to be approved so Brentwood residents will have local control. But the reality is if people are fooled into voting for Measure F, the Brentwood residents will have lost control completely, and it'll all be in the developer's hands.
That's correct. After the development agreement, if Measure F passes, the little wiggle room that we have is simply Planning Commission and City Council decisions, not the residents of Brentwood anymore. They're actually taking this land from us.
But even the City Council wouldn't have much volition. They could monkey with paint schemes and you know what the name of the street is, but they couldn't decrease the number of units or deny they couldn't turn the developers down. They couldn't say no to the project.
That's correct. Our big choice will be, can we build the 1,300 homes or do we have to settle for 1,100 homes? That's your decision right there.
And that's more than twice the number of units that the Brentwood general plan would allow if this area were ever added to Brentwood.
Yes.
So Matt, what are some of the impacts of Measure F?
Brentwood is renowned across the Bay Area for its agricultural resources. Farmland on the east side of town, ranch land on the west side of town. This developer agreement in Measure F would pave over some of that most important farmland for the entire Bay Area, meaning that we can't be able to feed ourselves here within the region as we're devouring the farmland that we all depend upon.
The two new schools on American Avenue created an instant traffic nightmare, which the developers say they're going to solve. But one, they don't tell you that any monies for traffic improvements aren't going to come for many years. And two, they don't tell you that they want 1,300 houses in exchange. That's 4,030 new residents. Any potential traffic improvements would be overwhelmed by all the new houses and commercial areas and a new school that they're proposing.
Here we are looking at Heritage High and American Avenue. My son goes to this school. I drove him up this hill for 3 years. American Avenue, it's a traffic nightmare. Building all these homes behind us, adding 4,030 residents to this area will only make traffic problems worse.
So guys, how can people get involved?
The first step is to visit us online at www.savemountdiablo.org and click on our Brentwood page to learn more about why you should vote no on Measure F. Also, join us on Facebook at Brentwood Residents Opposed to Measure F.
Also, be sure to email this video to everyone you know that lives in Brentwood.
I need volunteer help. Any time you can spare is great. We need to get the word out to Brentwood residents. Measure F-fails the test at comcast.net or 925-325-8439.
And remember,
Vote no on Measure F on June 8th.